The dating market is
It is a disaster.
There's a couple studies that have come out recently. You may or may not have seen these. They're honestly shocking. The first one shows that the number of sexless men has tripled in the last 10 years. Women have stayed just about as active as they were before, but men are getting way less action. And it would seem that the reason for this is actually this thing right here, because around 2008 is when the smartphone came out. And now, because of things like Tinder or Instagram, women have a lot more options, because men were the pursuers, and now women are being pursued by a lot of men, not just at the gym or at the bar, but guys in other cities or even across the world.
And society's pushing this narrative that women deserve whatever they want, so they're not going to settle for average guys.
And then you have another study that shows by 2030, 45% of women from ages 25 to 44 will be single and childless. And it would seem that the reason for this is that more and more women are participating in the labor market, meaning that they're choosing to commit to a career instead of a man.
And society is pushing, yes, queen, you don't need a man, you can work, freeze your eggs, you got this.
Like I said, the dating market is fucked, because you have men growing more and more resentful towards women because we feel like we're kind of being treated like trash and not taken seriously. We come at a second rate to whatever their hobby or career is. And then on the other hand, you have women who are praised for sleeping around but don't want to commit to a guy. And I think that's the most interesting part to me. Women are receiving a lot of positive reinforcement for acting like a man, right? When you behave in a masculine way, everyone's like, yes, that's the way to do it. We support that.
And if you're a woman that wants a more traditional values, traditional roles, you're almost like told that that's not the thing you should want. Being feminine is a bad thing.
Yeah, women are getting it from both angles. They're being positively reinforced for acting masculine and negatively reinforced for acting feminine. Men, on the other hand, we don't really get like positively reinforced for acting feminine. I think that more feminine dudes get less respect. Guys don't want to be like that, but we do get a little bit of the negative reinforcement for being too masculine, right? You have like an Andrew Tate who's being canceled. I think more guys are afraid to express their opinions more freely because he might get canceled too. Sometimes when I'm making YouTube videos, I have to be a little bit careful about what I say, even in a video like this.
Well, I do think some men get praised for being allies to the feminist movement, and that makes them want to be part of it.
Yeah, I think the real deep problem here is that no matter what the narratives are, I just don't see men getting to a place where we're like, I really want to be with a masculine, high-earning woman, and even less than that. Because I do think maybe the last 10 to 15 years, some guys have bought into the idea that like a high-value woman is a high-earning woman, even though now there's more awareness. I think more guys are realizing, wait, that doesn't really make sense.
Wait a second, I don't want that.
Why would I want that? And I think women, on the other hand, even more importantly, are they ever going to actually be attracted to a more feminine guy?
Absolutely not, which is funny because like they don't want a weak man. They want a masculine man, but they also want their career. They want to be that boss babe.
Yeah, let's say you have a woman who's earning $200,000 a year. She almost always is going to have the attitude, I want a man who's on my level or ahead of me now. But now that's a guy who's earning 200 or 300K, and that guy's probably going to have a lot of options. And I don't see that guy very frequently choosing like the aggressive feminist girl over maybe something that's more feminine and down to actually start a family, have babies.
I think it's totally fine if women want to have their career, but I think they need to adjust their expectations and be able to date someone that makes less than them if they want to have that career.
So it sounds like what you're saying is you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yes.
Except if you're looking for an exceptional pair of classy footwear at an affordable price. Every guy needs to level up their shoe game, and that's why we decided to partner with Bruno Mark to be the sponsor of today's video. I'd highly recommend you check out a pair of their slip-on suede loafers. Not only do these look amazing with a clean pair of chino pants, but they feel amazing too. They have built-in foam insoles that cushion each step and give you that all-day comfort. Plus, because of the loafer style, they're super easy to slip on and slip off. Or if you're looking for something a little more casual, they also offer these dope mesh sneakers. Something about the mesh look just makes them a little bit classier than your average sneaker. These look amazing with shorts, with jeans, super versatile, super comfortable. They got that breathable mesh upper construction. The insole's actually built from memory foam, which feels amazing.
Guys, girls are always looking at your shoe game.
So if you want to level it up, you can click that first link in description to pick up either of these for under $40 on Amazon. Both of these are Amazon bestseller. Click the link in description. Take your style to the next level.
Something I find super interesting is growing up, we're told that men are going to be the pursuers. They're going to have to figure us out, and we don't really have to do anything.
Well, I think women have always been taught that, right? And I think men have always been the pursuers. We've always had to figure women out. I think the difference is in the past, it seemed that women were actually cheering for us and hoping that, you know, we figured them out and they were excited to fall in love, where now it feels like falling in love is like not cool anymore. So men are like, well, you got to figure them out. But then in the back of our heads, a lot of guys are like, well, like, why am I going to try and figure out just so that she like prioritizes her career over me?
Yeah, it's quite interesting because women want high value men, but they're not doing anything to attract these high value men. They just think that they deserve it.
Well, I think that they think by following the path of the career woman that's what men want, or they at least want men to want that, right?
I don't think that's what men want.
Yeah, the whole point that I kind of want to get to here is this is not a problem for casual dating. If anything, you could argue casual dating is easier now because women are now sexually liberated, right? And they're more open to, I guess, just casual hookups with no strings attached. But the problem it creates is trying to find, like, if you are someone who wants to get married or not get married, but have a lifelong commitment, perhaps have kids, that's a bigger challenge now than ever. Because as a man, I wouldn't want to be dating someone who's bringing the same things to the table as me, right? If I'm going to be bringing the leadership qualities, the finances, the decision-making abilities, if I meet someone who's doing those same things, well, then who raises the kids? And we're also going to be butting heads all the time because we both want to be the one who's leading the way forward. And that's not a complementary relationship that's going to be conducive to like healthy children or even healthy relationship between us.
Yeah, I think women need to fall back into their feminine energy because ultimately I think that's what we want. And when you're always taking the lead, you're going to be way more anxious. And personally, I think women are going to be happier in their feminine energy.
Well, it's funny coming from you, Julia, because we were married now. We've been dating for about 7 years before that. When I first met Julia back in the Boston days, she had been, I don't want to say brainwashed because maybe that's a bit aggressive, but you definitely bought into like the more feminist narrative, right?
Well, I was naive and that was what I grew up with, and everyone around me was showing like, oh, you have to be focused on your career, don't worry about men, like you just be a boss babe. And that was like hard when you're growing up with that.
So I think if you're a man in the Western world, like the very serious consideration you have to make is, look, it's going to be quite hard to find like a woman who's just out of the box, fully feminine, bought into that role. I'm sure they're out there, but it's going to be quite small numbers in the Western world.
Well, unless they were like raised with that background.
Yes. Again, there's a few and far between. So I think the answer as a man is to realize you kind of have to become like a more powerful force than the rest of society, which is not an easy task, right? But as I think I increased my level, Julia was more and more willing to buy in to me being more the masculine role, her being more the feminine role. But again, I think that was only possible because I was able to show her that was possible, right? So if you're a guy and you level yourself up, right? Your finances, your body, your mental toughness. Now when you're meeting women, you're going to be a bit higher level of man than they're used to dating. And it might not happen up front. They'll probably still, if you try to have an argument with them, they'll probably still argue the feminist narrative. But you can start to see over, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, does she follow your lead when you make the decisions, or does she fight you? And actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, and also I think that you learn to submit. Like that's what happened with me. Like over time, I was like, he can handle this. Like why am I the one trying to lead this? Like he's leading it better. I'm gonna lead it worse. So I need to let him take control. And I felt like our relationship got so much better when that happened.
And little hacks that can help you achieve this result as a guy is taking care of the traditional masculine thing. So always be the one who selects the date night spot, plans that date ahead of time. That romantic gesture helps the woman relax into her feminine energy. If she's carrying some shit, be like, you know what? You don't carry it. I'm gonna carry the heavy things. Even if she can and you're tired, it still helps like solidify the more traditional masculine feminine role. Again, if that's what you want. Or even coming home and just picking her up, spinning her around, kissing her. Those little things, those make a big difference, right? Those are like the daily habits that anchor you back to that energy. We need to start to look at it more as a challenge, right? Because that's a masculine thing that we can do rather than like the dating market's fucked, which it is, and we started the video with that. But rather than taking that energy, take the energy of, yep, the dating market's fucked, and this is a challenge for me to rise above that and still be able to attract a woman that I find attractive with good morals. And then from there, maybe it's a little bit like a ball of clay that I have to mold a little bit into the role that I want.
And I know for some of you guys that you need your woman to work because you can't afford for her to stay home and raise the kids, and that's completely fine. You can still be the leader in that relationship and have her submit.
Yeah, you can still make the bigger decisions, tell her it's all right, babe, I got us, do these little habits that I'm talking about on a daily basis. And I would also say, you should still be aiming to level up in your career and your money. And I think it's a good goal as a man to be able to want to support your woman and your kid and eventually get to that point, even if you're not now. Because when we first met, Julia was working full time, right? We transitioned to the point that we're in now.
Now look, all that being said, I just wanted to let you know that if this is an area of your life that you're looking to get handled, I am here to help with my Beast Dating coaching program.
Yeah, well, my dating life was non-existent, I'm being honest, before the program. Only halfway through, like 5-6 weeks in right now, but right now my dating life is like much more vibrant. You know, I've been going on a lot of dates, bringing women back to my place, been having a very fruitful dating life.
I wasn't going on dates. I wasn't putting myself out there. I didn't know how to message girls properly. As soon as I was getting the help from you guys, that fully changed. I started getting dates. Sometimes I had 3 or 4 dates in a week, and that was more than I had in previous years combined, and that's not even a joke.
Over the past few years, we've helped hundreds of guys just like this to finally develop the confidence and the skill set to consistently meet and date the types of women that they really want. Just go to beastcoaching.com or click the link down in the description to learn more, see more testimonials, and apply now. And if you found this video helpful, I'd recommend you watch this one next. It is about what to do when a girl ignores you. Women love to play hard to get, to play stupid games. This will help you know exactly what to do in each situation when this happens. Click there to watch it now. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Stay beastly.